I messed with it and finally figured it out. So now we in landscape. So maybe they'll come back on, maybe they won't. I don't know. Sorry about that, people. I screwed up the get-go. I see 3 of you. Let me get the chat back up where I can see everybody. I hear you, Gary. Well, I've been on moss quite a few times, but I never really did know catfishing. So, hey, Joe Buck. And now, since I got a late start and it's close to the house, I figured I'd just ride on up here and throw out some baits. But I was over in the cove, and when I come over here to find me some bait, I marked some big fish over here in the cove. Hey, Catfish Bill. What's up, Twerking Monkey? Gary, Virginia, Whisker Sticks. Yeah, I finally got my phone to flip around. It wasn't wanting to flip around there for a minute, but it finally did. But anyway, I come up here, I marked a bunch of big fish in this cove, and while I was swinging around catching bait, I thought, well, I'll put out my rods. Okay, I will, Tim, thank you. I mean, that's just, you never know. When them batteries like that, you just never know. It ain't your fault, that's just the way it is. I was just aggravating you about replacing the batteries. They ain't nothing to go buy some. But anyway, I come up in this cove and I caught me some brim. And I put out my catfish rods. And then all of a sudden, now my screen is just black with, I don't know what it is. I don't know. Tell you, Mama's cat, do you mark any? No, I didn't. The time I got out here, I rode up there across the point, then I come back down to a cove I know I could catch me some brim in. And I finally caught me some brim. That's being tight-lipped, is big tight-lipped bad out here. So once I finally got me some brim, I put out my baits right here in this cove, Justin, and because I'd marked some big fish when I was coming in here, big fish. But now my screen is black with something. I don't know. I didn't see a thermocline nowhere in this lake on the way up and down the lake. But now it's like a thermocline from about 18 foot up, but below that it's clear. So I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't have a clue what it is. I hear you. I wished I'd have made that run, but like I said, I had a real late start getting out here. You know, when you get homework and you got other junk you got to get done, sometimes things just don't work out like you want them to. I knew I wished I'd went to Wiley, where I'm halfway learning that lake a little bit better, but I knew this lake's close. I know it's got the potential to produce some big fish, and I know there's some flatheads in here. I don't know about blues, but I know some big channels is being caught. What was that, Tim? Yeah, you'd think so. I had either 5 or 6 batteries. I sat out here on the lake putting them in the lights, and about 5 or 6 just didn't have no power to them. A couple of them would barely make the lights come on, but that was all. But yeah, that's where a friend of mine told me, Team Wampus Cat told me to make a run up there towards the Buffalo Creek, and I wished I would have. By the time I don't like getting set up when it's still dark, when it's already dark. I like to try to get set up while it's light outside. But, you know, that's okay. I'm learning the lake and learning some of the things. I never expected my screen on my depth finder to turn like this. I'd show it to you, but it'd just white out the screen. Y'all wouldn't really be able to see it. So, but we're trying. Tim, I got my red, white, and blue lights out. They working great on my rods. Now, if I could see one bend over, that'd be even better. But that's just the way it goes. We're gonna give it a try. We're close to the house. I marked a lot when I first come up in this cove, Tim. I marked some big fish. That's made me why I stopped right here right at the mouth of the cove. And I got a couple rods throwed up pretty shallow into the banks, and I got some straight down underneath the boat, and then I got some thrown up into the back of the cove. But it looks like this whole cove is just, yeah, Moss Lake can be tough. I've done pretty good up here catching hybrids, but it's a tough lake. It's a real clear lake. It's a lot different than fishing Wiley. I'll just say that. Excuse me 1 second. Let me go check this rod. I'm back. I went ahead and fluffed some of my baits while I was doing that. Ain't that what old Luke says? He got to fluff them baits. Yeah, I figured I'd go ahead and try it because I really do need to learn this lake. It's a good crappie lake from what I understand. Good hybrids. I wished I'd have stopped. I was scared to stop by a grocery store on the way out with your boat and your fishing rods on your boat and stuff like that, because I'd hate to have to just really hurt somebody reaching in my boat grabbing my fishing rods. And that was being polite, and what I said is hurt. Because if I knew that I was coming up here, I would have went ahead and bought me some chicken livers and maybe caught a hybrid or two while I was out here. But fellas, I'm thinking about making a little change on my timing as far as when I do fish. Jordan, they just went up. Used to, you had to buy a fishing permit to fish on Moss, and then you had to buy a lake permit to put your boat out. 22 blue or flathead. As far as I know, I don't know of any blues in this lake. I know there's channels, and I know that there's been a few flatheads caught in this lake. Now, whether the population is big in here, I don't know. I know they never stocked them in this lake, but I'm sure other fishermen has cut some loose. But what I was saying, I'm thinking about changing some of my timing. I still want to come out some on Sunday nights after Sarah, but I'm also wanting to go during the week. Sunday evenings, getting on Lake Wiley is pretty tough. I've got a couple holes that I want to go back to and a couple that I want to try, but that's what I was thinking, Justin. I haven't heard of anybody catching any blues out here. Plenty of channels and some flatheads. There's actually a picture up there of one about, I think about 17 pounds up there at the boat office. But they did go up to $80 for your permit, yearly permit for your boat. But now you don't have to buy a fishing permit for the lake. I guess they just added that onto the boat permit. So now all you have to have is your North Carolina fishing license to fish on this lake. It's a beautiful lake. It's got some pretty deep spots in it, and it's pretty clear water. It can be tough. But what I said, I want to start doing a little more live during the week when there's hardly anybody out on the waters, because me and Justin, Team Wampuscat, and his son went out last Sunday, and we got beat up. His son whooped us in catching some flatheads and stuff, but that water was rough. Yep, everybody give a little prayer to Kentucky Catman. Old rascal had a heart attack out on the boat the other day, but I think he's on the upswing now. Yes, Wiley is crazy on weekends. Yeah, them people it was just crazy. Yeah, Kentucky. Yeah, buddy, I hope you do get to feeling better. We look forward to seeing you back out on the water, but until then, you just take care of yourself and kind of do what the doctors tell you to do so we can see you out there. And I know K-Buck, she'll take care of you. She'll put a boot in your tail to keep you straight now. You done scared her. But, so yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna dedicate my time to just live on Sunday night after Sarah. It was good, and I thank Sarah with all that I am. She's helped me out a whole lot. A lot of y'all come from her channel over to me the first time after her show, and it really helped me out. It gave me a lot of subscribers, and I thank each and every one of you for coming on here. I do. But I think I need to expand a little bit and do some during the week. And yeah, I'm gonna still, when I get a chance to go out on Sunday night, because what's happening is it's starting to interfere with me and the wife and trying to make plans, because usually Sunday I'll spend my day catching bait because I like to have my bait fresh, and then Sunday night I hit the lake. So it's really hard to plan anything for Sunday with me and her, and usually we had a few things that we done every Sunday together. And you know good well, you got to keep mama happy. But it ain't just that. I don't want to take it. I don't want to make Sarah feel like I was taking advantage of going fishing right after her show. It helped me out a whole lot, and I thank her a whole lot for that. But at the same time, it's really hard to dedicate that certain day. And so I like to change it up. I'll bring you up here to Moss Lake, and maybe we'll go do some hybrid fishing and try to catch a few channels like food fish. But also I want to go to Wiley because I'm still targeting some of them monsters. I got to beat my PB on my flathead and my blues. I got to beat that 34 and that 44. Might be tough to do, but that's all right. Now, Tim, that took a lot of years of hard labor, and it beat my body up to get to where I can actually fish like that and be able to retire. My body paid for it. But that's okay. We out here enjoying it. But I sure wished I knew what come across my screen. Justin, if you ever seen anything like this, my whole screen's just blacked out now with junk. It started coming in a little bit right after dark. Hey, Charlene, how you doing, girl? Come on in the house. Or in the boat, what I say. Up here in North Carolina, right outside of Kings Mountain. We're on Moss Lake. But yeah, the whole screen's just blacked out. I don't know what it is. Never seen anything like it before. But it started coming in about a foot off the bottom, and then it got a little bit thicker, then a little bit thicker, and now it's all the way from the bottom all the way up. Yep, my biggest is 44 out of Wiley, and got that live on here. I hear you, Pop. I'll tell you, Team Wampus Cat's son, Gavin, last weekend, he caught the smallest flathead that I've ever seen, and it was beautiful, all malted up and stuff. That thing was about this long. Little bitty flathead, beautiful. We was trying to catch us some dadgum perch, and it was he caught two or three flatheads on that perch rod. We had some decent pull downs, but just nothing there. Just the boats had them stirred up. I think it just had, the water was so choppy and stirred up that the catfish just said, "The heck with it, we're gonna lay down and wait." I hear you, Richard. I had to check that out, buddy. I would definitely have to check that out. But I had to come up here on Moss Lake, excuse me, trying to keep that light out of your face. I mean, you don't know until you try it. And I was scared to try to move. About the time I go live, I was scared I'd lose the signal moving down the water. And I don't know how much of the lake is actually covered in this stuff. It must have come up in the dark at night, up off the bottom. I know Dieter was talking about that last year, that it seemed like when it got dark, that stuff come up off the bottom. I mean, I'm marking a few things that's up in it, but very little. That's fine, Kentucky. Hey, you just rest, and I'd love to be able to show you a catfish. I'd love to show you any kind of fish coming in here. But, you know, that's fishing, and I would move with y'all on here, but I'm a little scared I don't have the best signal right here. So if I pull anchor and start trying to move across the lake, I'm liable to run into the same thing. So with me not knowing this lake that good, I think I'm just gonna stay put and see what happens. But I do have cut brim out. That's all I was able to catch tonight, this evening. I had a late start. I didn't get to the pond behind the house and catch no bass or nothing else. These wasn't real big brim, so I cut them up in chunks and actually got one live brim out, and that's the hit I got a little while ago, and it's probably gone, because he hit it pretty good. But I throw circle hooks. I got some that's straight down underneath the boat. Yeah, I talk too much, but I don't talk like old Dieter. He's used to being in front of that camera. But I do appreciate y'all coming on here. It means the world to me. And if you like it, give me a thumbs up, and I appreciate it. It's kind of boring right now, and I know it is to y'all. I don't know what else to do, people. Next week I will be better prepared. But I'll probably go some this coming week. During the week, I need to make some video. What's going on, Dexter? Everybody give Dexter a hello, a big hello. He probably just getting up over there. Probably stayed up all night and he just getting out of bed. Yeah, KB and them and Twerking Monkey, I watched y'all on y'all's last video. You was funny, but y'all had Pops, you had a good fish on when you lost him next to the boat. That was a good fish, buddy. When you have a fish on there that bends a rod like that one did, you done hung into something. Almost 10 a.m. now. Yeah, and this might be short like I did last week, simply because if I'm not putting fish in the boat for y'all, it gets bored. What's up, Peeling? How you doing, buddy? I hadn't seen no new videos from you lately. I know you've been out there slinging some baits, but it's hot out there during the day, and especially you standing on that rocky area. Dexter, nope. Only thing I caught was some bait. I come out here catching some bait, and I struggled. I had a real late start getting out here. I'm up on a lake I don't normally fish, not for catfish. Most of the time when we come up here, I just bring the wife, and we come up here and do some boating, just cruising around, enjoying being out on the water. I've tried to learn the lake. I've done a little fishing up here, but not for catfish. We got hybrids and stripers in this lake, but they do have channels, and they do have some flatheads out here. I don't know how many, but they do. Let's see. Here's the slinger bait. I hear you. Hello, Sarah. Good show tonight. Yeah, that lady is a fishing hero right there. I miss them days fishing like it. I used to bang them banks and run them rivers and Lake Wiley 3 to 4 times a daggum week when I worked 12-hour shifts, but she's got it going on, that's for sure. And I don't know why I haven't checked her channel out yet, but I dang sure will. But yeah, I'll bring you up here one day when I know I can get on the hybrids. And that might be pretty interesting for y'all. I know we all catfishing on here, but Sarah, she does a little bit of everything, so it might be a lake she might want to try out. I see a lot of kayakers out here trolling, and I got a little bob in a rod. But they troll out here catching crappie, catching these hybrids, and they are striper out here. So Sarah, you might want to look this one up. What's up, Chris? One of my gold mining buddies is on here from West Virginia too with y'all. But yeah, this is a good lake. It's a nice lake. It's good. It's Moss Lake up here in Kings Mountain where I'm at, Sarah. If you come straight up 85, you coming into Kings Mountain, then you jump over on the 74 and go towards Shelby and get off at the Moss Lake exit or the Oak Grove exit, and it'll bring you right to the lake. You can't miss it. There's signs on 74 that'll tell you where it's at. Beautiful lake, well-kept lake. Yeah, and I see a lot of kayakers out here, a lot. A lot of them do some trolling, but there's a lot of hybrid in this. They stock hybrids in this lake, and that's a good fighting fish. Bring you a bucket of chicken livers, and you ready to go. I know some people say they salt their chicken livers down before they come up here. I don't know. We just had chicken livers and was catching them, which is pretty wild. You think chicken livers, you think little old channel cats or whatever, but less than 2 hours from you. Probably so. Coming straight up 85 from you live in Anderson, right? If you come straight up 85 from Anderson, there's probably an easier way there's probably another way to cut through, but the easiest way would be to come up 85 and get right there in Kings Mountain. Get off at the 161 exit, jump over on the 74 and go back west towards Shelby. And the exit ain't but about 1.5 miles, 2 miles. You'll take a right up the top of the hill, and that will take you right straight to the lake. No doubt, Chris. There's some big striper running that area up there. I've never caught any striper in this lake, but they are in here, and I've seen the pictures of them. Bug in my eye, excuse me. Excuse me, I had to try to touch the screen so I can see the daggone comments. Huh. I've never tried garlic on the chicken livers. Makes sense. Really makes sense. But Sarah, you'd love this lake. Yeah, just look up on YouTube. There's one guy, he's got a channel on here. He actually, what do you hate, peeling? Oop, I'm sorry. Oh, the garlic. But there's a guy here on a kayak, come out, actually fishing for catfish using chicken livers and got into the hybrids. The smell of garlic. You ain't a vampire, are you, peeling? You know, them vampires don't like garlic. Got a little heat lightning behind us. I don't think we're supposed to get any storms tonight. But yeah, my whole screen's turned black, so I don't know if it I don't know if anything's gonna run up in here or not. I don't know if that's just an algae. Yes, it's probably about 84 degrees and it is humid. It might be 85, 86, I don't know. It's pretty warm, but the water temperature right here is 88.5 degrees. And it's actually warmed up since I've been here. You thought it'd been warmer, but I don't know. This must be an algae bloom or something that had come up off the bottom. Oh, I hear you, Chris, down at Hilton Head. Get you some. Actually, the skeeters ain't bad. I do have me, you see, these things work pretty good for mosquitoes, but you know, as long as you ain't got a bunch of air moving. Yeah, Catman's in here. He's just listening. He's not making many comments. You know, he's got to rest up. He's been through a lot. Glad he's still around and kicking. He just ain't kicking real high right now. But he'll be back out there sooner or later. I think K-Bug will make sure of that. But yeah, guys, I've got the baits out, but if this algae bloom moved in, I'm sure the fish moved out. And I don't know if it's like that out there in deeper water. And I don't even know if this lake actually gets what they call a thermocline in it. But if most lakes, it does. And usually this lake stays a good bit cooler than what Wiley does. If I turn the screen around, it's probably, here, let me see if I can dim this thing down where I might can show it to you. Let me take you out of this holder without trying to knock you offline. I don't know if, let me get around here and see if I see it. Hold up. Can you see it? Or is it whiting out? That's what I thought. Hold on just a second and I'll try to dim it down a little bit more. Could y'all see that, or was it too bright? Now can you see it? There you go. Now you can see it. See all this stuff right here, all the way up from the bottom up? I don't know what that is, but whatever it is, what big fish was in here is now gone. So if anybody happen to know what that is, please tell me, because it's really got me all messed up. It's your thermocline. That's what I thought. It's 88 degrees in here right now. Thermocline was not here during the day. This is almost like an algae bloom that come up from the bottom. And there was plenty of fish in here during the day. No, I don't have no bobbers out. I actually got 3 rods that's suspended underneath around my boat at different depths. But I'm not marking no fish. And when I first come in here, and it was right at daybreak, right at dark, there was fish everywhere. A few suspended, but most of them was close to the bottom. That's why I was thinking I was coming into some catfish. And maybe carp. I know there's some big carp in here too. So I don't know what this is. And I wish Dieter was in here. Dieter could probably give me a little hint of what it might be. I'm throwing bream, cut bream, and live bream. Yep. I've got some rods up shallow peeling. I throw them up against the cotton picking banks, and I've got them deep, and I've got them suspended. So where I'm at, and I throw it up into the back of the cove this way, and it's a nice cove. There's a lot of old stumps and stuff in here. Good structure. And actually it's pretty deep up into the cove. No, I don't use chicken livers, Chris. I try not to. Now, I probably will come back to this lake and use chicken livers to try to get some of them hybrids. Because then for some reason, I don't know why, but them hybrids love chicken livers. But I seen a guy catching striper with chicken livers, but he'll put a half a bucket on one big old freaking treble hook and then wrap it up in pantyhose or some kind of mesh. I think it's that surgical meshing, which is pretty neat, but he had a gob of chicken livers about the size of your daggum fist on there. And I think he said he was putting garlic powder on his chicken livers for them striper. I don't know. Pretty weird. But yeah, I'm going to do some more during the week fishing. I have a good bit of homework that I take care of, but Chris, I used stink bait for many a years ago, old Catfish Charlie, blood bait. And they do good for channels and stuff like that, but you bigger cats, nah, they just ain't gonna touch that stuff. I'd prefer not to get it on my boat in the carpet, because once you get it in the carpet, you can't get that stinking junk out. And you have to use treble hooks, because you'll fling it off if you don't. I used it years ago, and don't get me wrong, I caught a lot of channel cats on it. A good grilled cheese would be good about riding out, Tim. I usually eat pretty light before I come out on the boat at night. But yeah, I used stink baits for many years, caught a lot of channel cats on them. But my biggest fish come on live and cut brim, cut bass, some nice ones on crappie, cut crappie. Dexter, you have a good one, buddy. You take care of yourself, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the next one. So what do y'all think? Y'all want to come back up here during the day, doing some live during the day, maybe catch a few hybrid and put out some catfish baits? If you do, let me know. Let me get me something to drink. I just think it'd be a little bit something different. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna chase them monster cats in Wiley. That's my home lake. I used to work a job, it was 3 days on, 4 days off, 4 days on, 3 days off, 12-hour shifts. Well, eat a big old flounder for me, Chris, while you're down there. What's up, Jeff? How you doing tonight, buddy? I'm up on Moss Lake tonight, not Lake Wiley. Yeah, I had a real late start, and I figured I'd just run up here and try it out. Miracle Whip? What the heck is Miracle Whip? If it ain't Duke's mayonnaise, I don't think there's anything else, are there? Come on, Tim, come back and talk to me. What's that Miracle Whip? The only mayo you eat is Miracle Whip? You need to try that Duke's mayonnaise. Once you go Duke, you never go back. But yeah, fellas, I'm gonna take you on some daytime fishing trips, live. Start trying to do a little more learning, to do a little more drifting. Well, how'd you do on Wiley tonight, Jeff? Because I didn't make it down there, buddy. I don't like Hellman's either. Get you a bottle of Duke's and try it. You might not like it. It depends on it. You know, it's everybody's taste buds. I'm just giving you a hard time. It's got to be Duke's mayonnaise, Hunt's ketchup, and French's mustard. It's hard to get on the boat with Dieter. Dieter's, he's like me, he does a lot of fishing by himself, and he's got a random, his job, he just never knows when he's gonna go, and he'll wake up in the morning and decide to go. And I do that a whole lot myself. By me setting a fishing schedule every Sunday night. Hines, come on, Chris. Hines, and you a conservative and you eat Heinz, you didn't do too good, Jeff. Yeah, I think the boat traffic on the weekend's really messing up the bite. That's why I'm thinking about doing some week time fishing during the week. Yeah, buddy. I've chummed a lot of waters with chicken livers. Yeah, it's hard to put a good hard flinging on them things. But I've seen a lot of people, I don't know where they get this surgical webbing, that it comes in like a tube. Chris, you know I got to give you a hard time, buddy. Yeah, go out there and catch some of them. You're going to have to maybe go live and show us some of that surf fishing. I hope you get on them. I don't know what's running down there right now, but I hope you get on them. But I'm going to tell you what, fellas. There used to be a fish camp down on Lake Wiley, and Dieter will tell you, it was called the Hungry Fisherman. It's a steakhouse now. It's T-Bones by the lake. And you used to go out there on the deck, and everybody would get their food and go out there on the deck, and they'd throw French fries and hush puppies over there. And years ago, before I finally got into bait casters and stuff, I've had old Zebco 808s, them old big grills, you know, the ones that had a 20-pound test line on them. I've had them things spooled many a time down there and was fishing with French fries and hush puppies straight out of the daggum restaurant. Fishing off the bank, go in there, get an order of French fries, an order of hush puppies, come out there and fish. And I've had that 20-pound line peeled off an 808 more than one time. Never stopped it, never slowed it down. Don't know what it was. It could have been a carp, it could have been a catfish. But if you'd go in there and order fish and go out there and sit out there and throw them out there, you'd see carp and big catfish coming up there getting them fries and hush puppies. Now, you go anywhere else in the lake and them French fries and hush puppies wouldn't do nothing. But you sit right there on the bank and throw out there, yeah. Y'all boys trying to make somebody hungry out here on this boat, and all I got is a pack of crackers with me. I just give y'all fellas a hard time. I'm old Southern boy. I was raised on Duke's mayonnaise, Hunt's ketchup, and French's mustard. I'm not gonna go over there. Hey, some things I can eat generic, but that's one thing I can't skimp on. I make a pretty mean chili bean. But old Chris will tell you I cook a mean steak too. I'll cook you a steak that yeah, it'll make you walk backwards and slap your mama. Ain't nothing like some good old Southern hospitality, and I tell you, y'all really show it to me in here, and I appreciate it. I never thought I'd have 11. One night I had daggum, I think I had 18 or 20 people in here with me. And I think it was the night I had that big fish on the boat, and that just, they got me right there. And I can't say thank you enough. Guys, I've enjoyed it, even though I didn't get to show you no fish. And that's 2 weekends in a row I didn't get to show y'all no fish. And I don't like that. So I've got to change up something. If I'm gonna have an audience that's gonna follow my channel a little bit, I'm gonna have to up my game. But my next one, liver mush. Oh, I forgot we got some people from up north. If you ain't got no daggone niece's liver mush, fry that stuff crispy, cut it about that thick, fry it up in the pan with real grease. Now, don't be using that. I see you, Chris, saying yuck. Oh boy, a good old slice of liver mush with some French's mustard. You make you a sandwich. Oh, I even like to put a thin slice of onion on there too with it. A lot of people just can't. I like, well, I like their liver pudding a little bit better than their liver mush. It's a little bit, to me, it's a little bit stiffer. But both of them's great. Sounds gross. Nope, it's not. It's actually great eating. Probably not the best for your cholesterol. Y'all guys are killing me with the food. I guess if there ain't no fish being caught, I should put me a grill on here then, shouldn't I? Catch 'em and grill 'em show. I'm gonna tell you, we used to go down to Lancaster, South Carolina. A buddy of mine's daddy, he raised thoroughbred horses, and he had two beautiful ponds that had a dam that split them. We used to go down there and catch, we used to catch bluegill. I'm talking about dinner plate size bluegill out of there. We'd throw little bitty floating rapalas. Monster freaking bass, but we'd go down there and catch them bluegill, and them things would still be wiggling when they hit the grease. We'd catch them and be cooking them. Boom, 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 boom. Lord have mercy, you don't get no better eating than that. Sit there and camp out right there on the dam in between the two lakes and catch them fish, and one cleaning and one cooking. Son of a gun, that's some good eating. I miss them old days. Old pond I got in the back there behind the house, it's got a lot of brim, but it don't have no monster brim like that. You know them brim that you got to make a couple cuts in them to fry them whole. So you don't want to fillet them because you lose too much meat. You just fry them big old fillets. It looks like a flounder laying on your dinner plate. Man, good eating, good fishing back then. No, Red Man, I'm sorry, and I appreciate you joining my channel, buddy. I appreciate that a lot. All right, Twerking, you take care of yourself. I'm probably going to end this here in just a few minutes. There ain't nothing really biting. Like I said, I had this screen just get covered up. And with an algae bloom or something, I thought this was going to be a good place because I've got shallow area right here, but for some reason, my screen just got covered up. So I don't think there's going to be anything come in here. Food's your third passion, huh? But I've enjoyed it, and I appreciate y'all coming on here. No fish, no. The only thing I was able to catch was a few brim for tonight for my bait. I'm on a different lake than I normally fish, Red Man, and just not. I've never catfished this lake before, so I figured I'd at least try it out. And I'm not going to mark it off my list by no means. I know there's some nice fish in here. But I will give it another try once I learn this lake a little bit better. Me and the wife, she likes to come up here, so I'm going to start making sure that I start using this mapping program on my depth finder and start mapping me some good holes. And I got a buddy that's told me a few good holes to try out. Oh, I don't expect hogs ever cast. I sure don't. I'm happy with anything. That's why I kind of use a little bit lighter action rods, because even the smaller cats put up a good fight. And I love it. But look for me coming out on live during the week, guys and gals. I will be coming on live. I can't tell you what day. I have to do a little bit like Dieter, just to see you later, Chris. Y'all have a good time down there at the coast, buddy. Appreciate you coming on and joining the show tonight. I really do. So, but yeah, Tim, that was a good video, buddy. Sure was. But guys, I'm gonna call it a night. Jump off here because I know there ain't nothing biting. I'm gonna reel these things in and take it to the house. I give it a good try, but it won't be my last try. But look for me during the week. Hit them thumbs up, share if you want to share. Hit that bell so when I come live during the week, you'll get your notifications. And we'll try all this again. You have a good one too, Justin. I love you. And one last thing, just make sure, God bless America. We out here in the middle of the water, fishing on a beautiful night in America. Let's don't forget who got us here. Y'all have a blessed night. See ya.